Hello guys, I'm Savvy and welcome back to another Conan Exiles build video. I noticed that you guys, there was a lot of you that actually watched the last one, and I really appreciate that because of the new build kit that Funcom came out with Age of Heroes update. And in this one, we're going to be using that same build kit, but instead of building just the round buildings that I did, what we're going to be doing instead is building a mansion. Because in the last episode, building episode, I mentioned that we were going to build a mansion-style building at some point, and that is today. So before we actually get into it, there's a couple things I want to go through. If you have any suggestions for any build ideas or anything that you'd like to see me build in this game, using whatever material that you guys think of, or just an idea out of the blue, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe as well because that really helps me out, and I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so it would really help very much so. All right, with that being said, where we are right now is we're actually in the desert, and we are in the very far west part of this map. We are pretty much in between A and B, 7 and 8, like this whole four squared tiled area. More so on 7 and 8, but they all kind of converge together. So that's where we are. And the reason why we're on this island is because I wanted to build kind of like an island mansion of some kind. And I'm not really good at building like modern style homes, and it's kind of hard to do that in a game like this with the type of style buildings there are, but um, we're just going to build something that's really fancy and whatnot. And we're going to build it kind of closer to the water here because I think it's a better idea that way, and give us some room out here to build maybe like a fence or other things that you might want to do as well. So the first thing that I noticed was this rounded part of this island here. And I was thinking this would be great for kind of like a viewing deck of some kind. And I don't want it to be trying to get to the point where I'm centering it like so. At least as close as I can get it to be sort of centered. It's a little tricky here because it's not really 100% like round, but there we go, something like that. That works. And then these wedge foundations. So I'm going to switch between Argossean foundations and wedge foundations. Argossean wedge foundations to be more specific. And I'm starting from what could be considered the back of the house just because I want to make sure it's lined up to the point where it actually looks good that way. So, and this part here in the middle is only going to be what is going to be stretched across to pretty much be the same as the front too. Um, and sometimes these little nests can get in the way too, so I might have to change the height of that. You might have to change the height as well, if that's possible for you to do, because we don't want anything poking through the floor, because it just won't look good, so. Alright, there we go, something like this. So I'm gonna go as far out as this line here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of those square foundations. And this is where the front's gonna be, but we also, it's not just gonna be this kind of shape. It'd be weird to be like, oh, a fancy manor, but it's this shape. So we're gonna continue with our square foundations. And I'm gonna have this stick out by 1, so I'm gonna go back 1 like this, and create one little gap space here, then go forward 1, 2, just like that. And then you want to mirror it on this side too. So where you have something like this, where it looks like arms, kinda, as its starting point. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And then what you want to do next is bring this out by 2, so that way there's 3. So pretty much the same width as this here, and you want to do the same thing here as well. And then you want to bring it back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So something like this. And then you can fill in the rest of it, which what we're going to fill it in with, once we actually finish the outline of this, I'll tell you guys in a moment. So, but we're just going to continue on here until this side is mirrored to the other side. So you have a shape that looks like this, pretty much. Now, it looks very square, right? And we don't want to do that. We want it to be a little bit more rounded out, pretty much in the front and the back. So we're going to take our Argossean wedge foundations, and we're going to go across like this on this side, and the same thing here too. So it just brings it out a little bit more. The front here, you could bring this out with these wedge foundations too, just to make it the same throughout. And I think it would look cool with what we could do with this, but I'm gonna keep it flat because I do have an idea, or the vision that I have is gonna require this to be flat. So, and then in the back here, I'm gonna take 3 of these and combine them like this, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side too, just like so. And so you have your shape that looks exactly like this, which obviously it doesn't look that big, but trust me, there's plenty of space, living space for sure, because this manor is going to have 2 floors. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back around and we're going to use our fence foundations. And if you are a first-time watcher of these videos, which I do recommend going and watching the other Conan build videos that I did do, which I will put in the end of this video, like one of those cards that you see at the end that you can click on, like playlist or a specific video. There will be a playlist at the end of this, and you can check out all my other builds that I do. One of my more popular builds on this channel that I've done was the Wizard Tower, which I actually would love to revisit that since I might have some more ideas for wizard towers and different designs and stuff, so I think I might revisit that at some point in the future. Probably utilize more of the the new Stormglass build kit that appeared, like, I think it was in the first or second age of this, because we're in Age of Heroes, which is the 3rd age of their idea of doing ages in this game, so, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. And sometimes you could see that little gap there when you're building, but it's, yeah, not gonna work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But the reason why I'm doing this is because the foundations regularly, like if I just spammed all these through here, and I will say with the computer that I have, it's not going to impact it that much, but I know with people that don't really have like very powerful PCs, I know these foundations can be a little taxing, and I think on console as well, because trust me, I've seen builds that people have done, and these, like, not friends of mine, just like, you know, random players on different servers that I've played on. Their entire, like, even if it's like really high up on a mountain, they would just use only foundations as their support, not pillars, or like not in a tasteful way. And what I mean by that is I'm not mean try to be judgmental, because they're probably not, you know, they're probably not savvy when it comes to like get it, but they're probably not, you know, as used to building, or they don't have much experience in it. Trust me, I've been in that position before. You should have seen some of the builds that I did in Minecraft when I was actually practicing building, or at least trying to improve my building. Oh my goodness, they weren't that good. But I've improved over the years, and you know, they're just doing it because they want to build a base, and I can understand more commonly for that to happen if you're playing on a PvP server. But PvE, since nobody can steal your stuff and whatnot, you know, it's kind of like, you know, I can build whatever I want, I can build however I want. And I'm not saying that they can't build that way, I'm not like the building police, obviously, but I do think that it definitely is more taxing on other people, and probably even their own PC, if they're just spamming a bunch of foundations, because that's the point I was getting across, is that fence foundations cost a little less rendering power than it does for the actual foundations themselves. So it's just best to use fence foundations for the outline, as you saw here, and just go in with a bunch of ceilings, just because, again, less rendering power. And you might need to spend some time building supports underneath or pillars, because obviously there's not going to be as much support underneath as there would be if it was just mainly foundations. And that's probably another reason why people build with just foundations alone. But yeah, just if you're new to this and you haven't seen any of my builds before, this is the reason why I am doing it this way. So, and I recommend that you do this as well. And this actually isn't my original idea. I actually got this from a friend of mine who plays this game quite often. And she told me about this trick, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really cool. That's really, really cool. So if more people did it this way, then there might not be as much, like, maybe FPS issues as people will come about. Because, I mean, even if you're building large, like, huge structures, then obviously, yeah, they're going to be slow no matter how you're building them, but be a little bit modest with it and at least, try it out. I recommend it. Okay, that's my spiel. Anyway, so we're gonna just go ahead and put in the walls and windows. And I have like a problem because with the new build kit, I love the design and the colors of this. So we're gonna put windows here. And we're gonna put windows here as well, all on these corners, and we're using the Argossean Observatory window base. I'm just going to put the base on where I think all the windows should go. At least where the base of the windows should go. And yeah, here and here, but not these two, because these two are going to have doors in place. And then obviously one there, and then one here, just like that. Now, the problem I'm just going to talk about is when I look at these Argossean walls, you see that color difference there? Like the shade difference. With this build kit, I really wish that and I mean, they technically do, but these are observatory frames, which have windows. And these are even a different shade of white. So I'm just, I was kind of hoping that they would also come out with walls that are pretty similar to this shade of white. But this is what we have to work with, unfortunately. For now. At least, I'm sure they'll probably add more in the future, but I don't know when that'll be. But we're just going to go all the way around and pretty much just cover up all the gaps with regular walls, and then obviously go back around one more time and put in the doors that we need to. And we're just doing the outside. We're not going to put the inside walls yet, because I want to build the shell of this place. So the door frame is the observatory door frame, which looks like this. And I get that it's called an observatory, which this is why there's like all these big windows that look like this, but it's really good just for building houses. I love it so much. And I really wish that more windows like these exist in other build kits as well. And any future ones that they add more build kits to, or building pieces to, I really hope that they have windows similar to this, or at least big windows that look really pretty. I hope so. I could definitely see me using something like these in, or something similar to it in black ice, because black ice is really good for building castles and everything. So, also, to explain what I'm doing here is, so I'm not going to put the window middle because I don't want the windows to be too high. So each floor is going to have two walls high of a floor. So the base, and then I put on the window cap at the top. And that's pretty much one floor right there. And then you just go around and you do the same thing here. Then obviously finish the rest of this by putting in the walls. And it's okay, like, sometimes I go between, like, I do a little bit of one thing and then I go back and do the rest of it, what I was starting with. So, it's okay. No matter what order you're going in, doesn't really matter, just as long as you're able to, you know, as long as you as long as you finish the outline of it, that's all that matters. All right, so there's two ways we could go about this. There's Argossean Observatory double height arch wall, which is a mouthful, and then there's the regular arch wall, which looks like this. And I think for the back, I actually want the double height ones because this is going to lead out into kind of like a large porch area that's going to overlook the water here. Nice, lovely oasis, pretty much. Beautiful, beautiful blue water. And we'll go around that once we actually finish the shell of this build. So, all right, so it looks like this so far, which I think looks really pretty. I think it looks really nice. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build up two more walls high, but not for the whole thing, not for this whole part. Only the middle here and also the pretty much the middle part of this build because we're going to take, I'm not going to be using the observatory dome roof pieces. I'm actually going to be using the regular pieces. Just because I think for a manor like this, I prefer more of the sloped, like not less rounded, more sloped type of, if you know what I mean. I guess more triangular shaped roof pieces. So we're going to use our Argossean wedge sloped roof pieces for these parts here for both the front and the back. So from here and also here too, because I don't want this whole build to be all 2 floors, only parts of it. Only the middle part is going to be the second floor. And for this part here, I'm actually going to turn this side and this side into a balcony. 2 balconies in the back, which I think would look really nice. And I'm going to bring the roof all the way back to here, where this rectangular area here from this window here to this corner here, that's going to be all part of the second floor. And also this rectangular bit here too, just like that. So, and obviously there's going to be ceilings put in place in here, all around here, except for the middle part, because the middle part I actually want to have like a big, grand opening, except for this back part, because this back part I will have as an actual, like, back room, like a patio or something, you know, or indoor patio, going out into an outdoor patio. And we're going to be using the arch walls, the regular arch walls on the inside. Just like so. There we go. Just like that. And then we're going to corner these off too, just to at least get started with the way that these rooms are going to be laid out, since we're about to get into that part. Just to give me an idea and a sense as to how I want to lay out the entire house. And this might not be permanent here. I might actually bring either this... actually, you know what? I'm going to bring this back by 1 already, because I want to put stairs along the wall here. Oop. Yeah, make sure that these walls are facing outside. I really wish that, unless it's modded, I really wish that they had inner facing walls for both sides instead of having to choose one or the other. Would be nice. And just to give me a sense, I'm going to start putting the stairs in like so. Just like that. They're just going to go straight up. Or what I could do is just have one side of stairs and then this looks... So I put the ceiling here. And then this just overlooks a little bit of the area here, which I think looks good too. Or the other idea I had was bring the stairs back by 1, just that way there's a little more space. And so it's more like this. So you see more of the foyer from up here if I'm standing up here like this, but I don't think it really matters. I think I prefer having the 2 by 3 instead of the 1 by 3, just because I like more space there, and then I can put I'm not going to use the observatory fence for the inside, but I am going to use the Argossean fence, the regular Argossean fence on the inside, so it looks more like this. So if I'm standing here, I could see, like, if anybody's coming over, I can see that they're coming in from the second floor in the foyer. So it looks just like that, which I think looks really cool. All right, so continuing onward with the shell bit, I also want to go ahead and place ceilings all around here. And the underside of these ceilings, of the Argossean ceilings, are really cool, just because they have like divots within them if you look underneath them, which I'll show you in a second. But these are really nice, I think. Really nice. So you can see that right there. Look at that. And I will say that even the new ceilings too, if I can find them here, the mosaic, and whether it's wedges or not, let me find the actual squares, yeah. Like, they look really cool underneath too, because they have like stars for the wedges and the sun for like underneath. It looks really nice. The sunlight's not doing it any justice, but when it's actually lit up on the inside, it'll look a lot better. So, all right, the next thing I'm gonna do is, even though like this side has the ceilings put in, this side hasn't yet, but I'm flip-flopping between the two right now, which I usually do. I'm gonna go ahead and build these windows up, and my idea was probably, which it probably wouldn't look good, but I just want to test it out, which is all part of the building process. Yeah, no, that doesn't look good. Okay, so I could have like a regular wall here, and then just finish where there's 3 windows above like that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better like that. And that's for the second floor, and then all these walls are just gonna come across here against these roof pieces, and we're gonna go back in and put in the inverted wedge for this, and then finish it off with a rooftop end, and then finally the regular Argossean rooftop, just like that. That would look something like this. Looks really pretty. Very demure. Alright. So, the next thing we're gonna want to do, and this the problem with lining up windows and all that, is on the bottom floor, even though it looked pretty well spaced, it's not really. So I want to keep this one here, but I think it'd be in my best interest if I moved this window. Oops. If I moved the window up against this one. Just like this. So that way it matches this here. Just like so. And then I can probably put another window if I want to, like right here. But I'm going to leave it blank for now, and we're going to just do the same thing on the opposite side as well. Also, my nose is like stuffy all of a sudden. Sorry if I sniffle here and there. Alright, and then the ceilings go back in with this side with the ceilings, so that way it matches the other end. I guess if you want to consider this like, you know, the east wing, if you will. Oops. Oh, stop doing that. There we go. And this is just going to cover all of it. Let me find these for here too. Yep. These as well. And then also go in on this side. Just to, oop. Sometimes it wants to, does not want to place correctly sometimes, or you misplace it, just like if you're playing Minecraft and you misplace blocks, which happens all the time for me. And then just like the front roofs, we're going to do the same thing with the back here, where they're going to go all the way till they're flush with the middle part of the building. Just like that, and then go around with walls. And I'm keeping a space here because I'm going to put a doorway in, and then probably put a window as well. But I'm just going to put the regular wall pieces first, just to give me a sense as to how I'm going to lay this all out. Just like what we did with the first floor, pretty much. So, yeah, something like this, and then finish it off this side by bringing them up to the same level. Just like that. And I don't want to cut out like the process that much unless I'm doing something that's repeated on the other side, which technically I was doing, but it doesn't really take that long for a build like this because this build is, I mean, it's kind of smaller from other builds that I've done, but I mean they're still quite big, but there's not really it's I'd say it's more simplistic in the way that I go about this because these are more, it's symmetrical, so it's not really anything crazy. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is where these balconies are, I'm going to first put in the door frames, which I think yeah, observatory door frames go out like this. They look very fancy. And then we're going to put windows in as well. Window base for this side here. And the same thing on this side. And then the window cap for both sides. And then we're going to go in with the fence. And the reason why I wanted to make sure that I put in the door frame and the walls first, or the windows first, because depending on the building piece you put in, it could be finicky and be like, well, you put this first, so therefore it won't register that you can put this wall piece or whatever else you're putting down. So I wanted to put the door frame and the windows first before placing the fences. So, and speaking of fences, I was honestly thinking, what if I put these fences around on these roof pieces that are flush with the main part of the building? Yeah, oh, that looks good, actually. I'm gonna do that for the rest of these sides here. Just adds a little bit more decor to it. A little bit more detail, if you will. Looks really nice. And then pretty much finish it off just the same way as we did with the other roof pieces, like that. And that's what it looks like so far. Obviously, we need to put the actual roof in, so, you know, and we also need to lay out the rest of the rooms here. So we could do it in a way where there's just two large rooms on the side, and it could honestly be the same for both the first and second floor, because if you want to use this as more of like a survival type of build, or if you want to build this with sandstone, out of sandstone first, and then replace it all with the Argossean stuff or whatever you want, honestly, this could be a place to put benches on this side, and on this side as well. And then obviously you have the upstairs where you could have, if you're playing with more than just yourself, you can have like bedrooms, one on this side and one on the other. Like large rooms to where you can store things, you can put large beds in if you want to, and you each have a balcony as well. So if you're playing with a friend, or if you're even playing with a significant other in Conan Exiles, this is a build that I think would be really nice for the both of you. Or this could, if it's more like communal where you're doing more of like maybe 4 people, 2 people could share a room each, or you could, I mean, design it in a different way if you want to, or lay out the rooms differently if you want to. Because if I were to make them smaller, it wouldn't really be that good. They would be pretty skinny and small. So I think these 2 large rooms are good enough as is. So yeah, I mean, this looks really nice. So obviously we need to put the ceiling in, but I'm actually going to use the mosaic ceilings just to, they're still part of Argossean, but I do want to ensure, actually there's 2 things I want to do. So for this middle part instead, not the mosaic ceiling, but I actually want to use vaulted ceilings. And this one in particular, the single vaulted ceiling. And I'm doing it where on the corner here, it doesn't block the window that much, so you can't really see it from that side. And we're going to go all the way across, just like this, until we reach the very end of the wall here. So it looks more like this, and then the middle part will be capped off with regular ceilings, like that. I think that looks really cool. I like that a lot, actually. And I could technically do the same thing for each of these sides here, but it wouldn't really make sense since the windows are more centered, and they're not really, like, it's more of a square, so it wouldn't really make much sense. So these sides are going to be flat, and we're going to be using the mosaic ceilings instead, just to get a different sense of the ceiling and, oops, not do that. Get a different perspective of ceilings, and it's definitely something that's different, both on the underside and on the top side. As you can see the difference here with these. I do like the mosaic ceilings, I really do. They're really cool. Okay, so now for the roof part. So we're going to use our regular sloped roofs, and we're going to make a triangle on these two ends here, and on this end right here. And while I'm doing that too, I'm also going to create I guess you could consider it an awning, maybe? At least that's what I would say. An awning, so this overhang that's above the... I mean, it doesn't rain in the desert, but if you're building this anywhere else that's not the desert, then you can build that here. Then you'd build the overhang because of the potential rain that would happen. So if you're in the highlands or the marshlands, or even in the snow biome building this, you're probably going to need to build that overhang if you don't want it to rain on your balcony. So it's a nice touch here. I would put pillars down, but it would... Actually, there is one type of pillar that comes with this, and it's the quarter pillar. Now, I don't know how well it works with... Oh. Oh, actually, that's... Oh, you know what? That's pretty nice. Wait, does that go... Okay. So it can... Yeah, oh my gosh, that's actually really nice. Oh, this is so good. That's actually really cool. So you have something like this. Wow. I love that so much. And technically this is supposed to be like one full pillar altogether, but honestly, I don't think it really matters. Yeah. But I think just this way on its own, it looks good even though it's not supposed to technically be that way. I still like it. It works super well with what I'm going for here. And we'll do that for both sides. They need more pillars like these. I'm just saying. They need more pillars like these for the other build kits. They need them so bad, I think. Oh my gosh. Alright, so for the rest of the roof here, I'm actually going to put a... Well, no, I think on this side we're going to do a triangle as well. But make it look more like there's an attic up here by putting the observatory frame here. Yeah, something like this. And then the same thing. Can't really do it. Well, I could do it for these, where it looks like that. Yeah. That's fine, I think. That works. And then we're using the right sloping walls and the left sloping walls to make sure the outside's facing outside. And that's for all the other pieces that I placed so far, which I forgot to mention, and that's my bad, but I'm sure you caught on by now anyway. And I think what would actually be a cool idea too is if I did the same thing here with these sloped roof pieces, or sloped wall pieces, I should say, not roof pieces, and just go in like this, like so. that is not even with it, but I think I think it'd still look good despite that. I mean, we'll see it as we'll see it as the finished product once I actually get through with these roof pieces. So just going around, capping off each of these sides with the roof, and the same thing here too. Now, for the front here, I'm actually going to bring this out, eventually. I'm going to bring it out more than just the one that it is, where it's flush with this wall. I'm actually going to bring it out more, so, we'll get around to that at some point very, very soon, once we actually finish the roof here. So just like that, and then here, those corner pieces, I love these corner pieces so much. Make life so much easier. And then I'm gonna need those again for this side too. We're gonna need a wall cap for the middle part. I just love how there's, I mean, I will say that one other game that's actually more detailed when it comes to building roof pieces, that is 7 Days to Die. It actually does really, really, really well in encapsulating that kind of thing, because there's so many different patterns and designs that actually matches each and every method of building that you do. No matter if it's awkward, there's awkward pieces for that situation. It's really, really cool. And if I ever do a 7 Days to Die build video, you'll see what I mean if I actually do that. All right, like this. And this middle part here, because there's no piece, unless obviously modded, but I don't think there's any modded ones for DLCs. There's not a roof piece that can connect to these where it's like it slopes down the way it is right here and has a triangle sticking out to where it can connect here. So the next best solution to this is just building a little tower or something above this, or in the middle of this, which it turns out to look good regardless. And this could be a way to cap off the roof entirely. So it's like this and like this. Yeah, that looks good. That actually looks really good. And I think that looks good too, the way it is. Oh my gosh, this looks so fancy. I'm so fancy. Alright, so the porch part that we're gonna do is we're gonna continue on with we're gonna use mosaic. Yeah, we're gonna use mosaic, and this is gonna be used for the porch. And I'm going to take the mosaic wedged pieces and completely become flush with these parts here too, because we want a large porch. We want it to look really, really fancy, really large, a lot of walking space and everything like that. And now you're probably wondering, well, what about what you mentioned with this overhang here? Well, we're gonna use these beautiful quarter pillars here, and we're going to put these in a corner like this. Oops, not like that. Come on, there we go. Like this, and we're gonna bring them up all the way to the top here, like so. Until this reaches the same height as the top of the second floor ceiling, like so. And then obviously, why is that giving me was that giving me a full foundation there? What was that? That was weird. And then this will give me the opportunity to bring this out by one, and then cover this part up with the walls, just like so. And I think I didn't do this side. I did not. I did not do this side either. There we go. Like that. So you see how it's like this? Oh, that looks so nice. I love that. Then obviously we want the observatory fences here, like so. And I'm gonna bring this out by one more like that, but just this part here. Just this part. Because I want the stairs to go diagonal. Like this and like this. Oh yeah. That's really cool. I like that a lot. That looks really nice. Alright, and then finally we have the back here. Which, I've been waiting on this for a little bit. So again, the mosaic that's going to be using for the back here. And make sure that it goes with the same shape as everything else, at least as best as we can with this. Because I do know that at times, and we're not going to be able to connect all these together, unfortunately. And that is not mosaic. I am doing this wrong. Like this, and then these here, like so. And I'm going to bring this out by one more, like that. So again, more walking space and all that good stuff, you know. And then going back around with fence foundations. Just that way there's that support underneath and it just, you know, acts as if it's part of the entire thing, entire build. I might have to do that though because the fence foundations do not want to cooperate. So that'll just be there for that purpose. And this won't have a staircase going down. This is more of just a visual, more of just a viewing spot rather than actually a point to go down to. So it looks like that. Oh, I love that so much. That's so pretty. I love it. That is so cool. Alright, the last thing we're going to do is put some lights around here, because we definitely need some lights. Lights are definitely important. So obviously hanging lights, wall lights, things like that. I love these Turanian braziers, so I'm going to be using these. And I'm actually... Oh! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Before the lights, where are the statues? Statues. I want statues. Here they are. So something... Are these too big? Those aren't too big. Yeah. Like that there. That there. I wish there was a way to mirror it where the guy was holding it in his left hand on this side instead of the right hand, just the same as this one, but it's fine, whatever. So something like that. Oh, that's so cool. Braziers, I think, would be best suited for the lights here. So Aquilonian braziers, can't go wrong with these. These are always nice to have. And I'm gonna put these right in front of these windows here. Just like that. That is bright, but that is beautiful. Bright and beautiful. Exactly. Wall decorations is definitely something, yeah, wall decor. And I love these insignias last time, so we're going to do something similar to this. And we're going to use a goblin insignia on the top here. Like that. And I'm going to put the insignias on these sides too. Try to get it as centered as possible. It's a little finicky sometimes by trying to put those there. There we go. Like that. Beautiful goblin insignias. And I'll put one here as well just to fill in this little space. Yeah. Might want to bring that up a little bit more. Something like that. Yeah. That's better. Wonderful. Alright, let's go back to the lights and get my Turanian braziers ready. Because I want to put one right here, right in the middle there. And put one on this side, and one on this side too. I don't know how even I'm gonna get the have those be, but that's as best as I can do because I can't really see from one side to the other, so it's just gonna look like that. All right, now for the inside. Definitely, I think these hang down. Oh, these don't hang down too low, which is good. So I definitely want. Oh, my my axe is that way. Put that there. Beautiful. And ooh, this one in particular. Oh yes, like that. Oh, that's beautiful. I might want to bring this more forward though, where it's like this. Yeah. Oops. That's a lot better. Then obviously in these other rooms too, we could have some more hanging lights in here if we want. Which I'll probably put one here and then put this one in the corner too, like so. And then the same thing in here too, in these rooms. Just like that. That looks really pretty. All right. Now, let's get a decent tour of this. Oh, look, I mean, beautiful. That is beautiful. All right, so I think I really did well with this. Um, so yeah, we walk forward and oh the oh my gosh, these little guys are coming in here. That's so funny. So we walk in and we have a little foyer in here, and there's three different ways we could go. There's the left side here, which is a large space for, honestly, this could probably be like a dining room, a large dining room and kitchen potentially. Or if you're playing survival, like I said earlier, you could use a lot of the benches here. And then if you go on the other side here, the right side, same thing here. Could be another like fancy room or just a place where you're putting your benches and stuff, just with a lot of natural lighting and a lot of views here. And then we go into the indoor patio here, and then going out to the outdoor patio, where you can also see where these balconies are in the back. And then once we go back inside, we can head upstairs. Oh, these guys are heading upstairs. And we're in the upstairs foyer area where you can overlook to the front door. And then you have the right side here, which is one of the bedrooms. And you also have about one of the balconies here where you look out into the oasis here. Looks really pretty. And once you go back inside, you can head to the other side where the other bedroom is, and then you can head out onto the other balcony, just like so. And look out to the opposite side of the oasis from the back view, just like that. And this could be decorated however you want. Really, I mean, it's totally up to you. But I'm just not going to leave it furnished. Just going to leave as the building as it is right now. I mean, this just looks really beautiful. If you guys enjoyed this, though, be sure to leave a like if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to hit subscribe as well, because that lets me know that you guys enjoy the content on the channel and would like to see more. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Barry Medley for being a member of the channel. And you can become a member too by hitting the join button down below. I've been Savvy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. See you later.